Welcome, everybody, to the Michigan Women's Hockey Coaches Show. We are live from Regents Field, and we're excited to be back after a week off. So, excellent to be back here. Today, Coach Tribbiano and I are going to be talking about the weekend series versus Grand Valley State and look ahead to the huge clash with Michigan State this Thursday at Yost. Welcome, head coach of the Michigan Women's Hockey Team, Jenna Tribbiano. How are you doing today, Coach?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to recap last weekend and look forward to Thursday.
Absolutely. Let's start off, before we get to the games, just two things I want to mention. The Michigan alumni gave this team, Team 29, the Michigan Women's Hockey Team, the spirit of 1917. Do you want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, so the University of Michigan Alumni Council, that is an affiliate group within the Alumni Association at the University of Michigan. Kind of a weird connection, how I got connected there. So my neighbor, one of his siblings, is a member of the board. So
nice.
That's how I got connected, and they had this campaign for fundraising, and they were looking for groups that might be interested in some funding that are serving the community at the University of Michigan. So there was an application process, so went through that and built some relationships as well, and I think we were notified, I think it was July, that we had received the donation. So
very cool.
They invited us out to their fall meeting, which was on Saturday, and they wanted to get a picture with us with the big check and meet some other people as well. So it was a great event. Went right from the Michigan League down to Yost to get picked up by the bus. So It was a great day.
That's awesome. Random question. Whatever happens to those big checks? You see those big checks, what happens to those? Obviously, you don't actually take that one to the bank.
Yeah, so that one, I think they had gotten like a whiteboard one, so they can reuse it.
Okay.
I have a big check from a scholarship from high school.
Nice.
That is like the coolest thing because it's just like,
yeah.
I don't know what I'm ever going to do with it, but I think it's in my basement somewhere.
That's awesome. I've just wondered occasionally what happens with those.
Yeah, I was like, is it heavy? I don't know. So it was pretty cool.
And one other thing before we get to the game, the Michigan podcast, who does such a fantastic job highlighting all the amazing women athletes at this university. They had some of the Michigan women's hockey team players on their latest podcast. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. They've been a great supporter and a platform for not only myself, but a lot of our players have actually been on that podcast, which I think is really cool.
Absolutely.
Especially for those that haven't had, we do this every week, but there are some players that are getting their foot in the door, and obviously Katie Cummings has really taken her social media to the next level.
Absolutely.
And representing the University of Michigan and herself. So I thought it was a great opportunity for them to speak about their background and our hockey program and their experience.
That's fantastic. Always good. We appreciate they always seem to have at least one show every year with the hockey team. And even when it's not the hockey team, check them out because it's always really good stuff over there. Getting to actual action on the ice. This past weekend, Michigan had a home-and-home series versus Grand Valley State University. And Michigan started on the road at Griff's Georgetown, the home rink for Grand Valley. Michigan started off with 4 times the number of shots in the first period. Michigan had 12 shots on the Lakers goalie Carson, whereas Grand Valley had 3 shots. But the game remained scoreless until 1 minute 45 seconds into the second when Grand Valley struck first. They took the puck from behind the net and they found Sprott, who hammered it home for her first goal of the year. The assists were to Sasic and Rubsum. Was there any kind of frustration on the bench, having really kind of felt like you outplayed them, but having a 1-0 deficit early in the game?
Definitely. However, you kind of have to just think about your next shift. You can't dwell on things in the past, and obviously it was John's first start of the season too. And it was a hometown game for her, so we knew it was going to come.
Yeah.
It probably happened later than we had hoped, but we knew our goal was to get pucks on net, get traffic in front.
Absolutely.
So we knew it was going to come, but obviously you always want to get the first one.
Definitely.
And hopefully we'll do that on Thursday. So that's one of our goals. So, yeah, it's just you just have to move on and support your teammates.
Definitely. Now, Michigan was able to get the game tied with 3 minutes, 33 seconds left in the second. Carr scored on a power play when she took a rebound off of a shot from the far circle and put it in. Grand Valley was very aggressive on the power play, using their speed and energy to make it difficult for Michigan. What did the team have to do to adjust to such a proactive defense?
We've got to move the puck.
Yeah.
We have struggled until really this weekend with our power play and our special teams, and that was something that it was a big relief when we finally capitalized, because obviously in practice it's practice and you try to replicate game scenarios, but ultimately we have players that are practicing on the penalty kill that know what our power play is doing, because if something happens or we need to make a switch, they need to be prepared as well.
Indeed.
So with those aggressive penalty kills, such as Grand Valley, we have to move the puck and be able to read. You know, we have one additional player, like where's the opening and how can we get the puck there? So, yeah, it was definitely an adjustment, and I'm glad that we capitalized, because I felt it was just like a moment of, like, finally, like, we did it. Like,
absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Like, let's get the next one.
And you know when they're being that aggressive that somebody's got to be open.
Exactly.
But you have such a short moment as they're coming at you to make that decision that it can't be easy. So,
yeah.
So the game remained tied through the second and 3/4 away through the third. But at 16:49, Michigan scored their second power play goal. Lindahl sent the puck to Ferris in the high slot, and she was able to slide it through traffic and into the back of the net. This is Ferris's first goal as a Wolverine, and it couldn't have come at a better time. It was a fantastic goal. Carson, the Grand Valley State goaltender, she's only 5'4", but she is so good she plays big between the pipes, and she was so good at moving back and forth and made things difficult. Did you have to change your strategy and try and get more traffic in front of the net and try and get more rebounds and things to get that puck past her?
Yeah, that's something we definitely talked about. So those second, third, fourth opportunities.
Yeah.
She's a solid goaltender. Any goaltender in this league is going to make the first save.
Yeah.
But we've got to be able to get positioning in front of the net between the defender and the puck and look for those second, third, fourth chances, because every time your percentage of scoring goes up significantly. So
absolutely.
Let's play the game, right? Like, we need pucks on net, and then we've got to get bodies to the net. So that was really our goal. I know that's not necessarily how we scored. Off of that face-off, Emily wins it. It's actually Hansen who passed back to Ferris. The score sheet's wrong.
Forgive me. Yeah,
I'm working on getting that corrected.
They had our tying goal in the third too, so it was a little weird, but that's okay.
So it was there's a correction that needs to be made, but it was Hansen that made that pass back to Ferris, and she capitalized on what she saw as an opportunity to get the puck on net. So
absolutely. It does need to be a good thing too, because Katie German's going to get some points from the blue line, but to have another blue liner be able to get some points it's got to be just kind of a nice thing to have in your back pocket. So, speaking of, you said it was Johns, a home game basically for Johns. It was her first win, and it was against a full Michigan crowd. First win of the season. She had wins last season. So Emma Johns grew up in Jenison, Michigan, which is about 11 minutes from Griff's, Georgetown. So not every Michigan fan was there to see her, but it was a pretty high percentage. What was it like? Was it great to have kind of almost a hometown crowd on an away game?
When I told her what the intent was for the weekend in terms of what the coaching staff wanted from the goaltenders, I told her, we're doing this for you as well.
Yeah.
Because I know things like that mean a lot to her and her family. So I wanted to do something because we appreciate her, and obviously it's a role that she's stepping into. So, yeah, it was great to see a lot of Michigan fans there, that's for sure.
I think they even had a kind of a fat head of her face that they had down there. Thank gosh no one's ever done that for me. I never need my face blown up. That would be horrible for everyone.
I think I saw that cut out last year, too, if I remember correctly.
That's awesome.
I can't remember where, but I was like, I think I've seen that before.
That is fantastic. So Michigan got that first win, but not as easy as maybe you hope. But the two teams met the next afternoon at Yost Ice Arena, and Grand Valley started the scoring again. Just 2 minutes, 15 seconds into the first, Sasek got the puck in the high slot, and she ripped it from the inner edge of the circle to make it 1-0. The assists were to Couch and Adams. Now, the opposing team has scored first in each of Michigan's games so far this season. What does Michigan need to do to put an end to that and get that first goal and really dominate the beginning of games?
We've got to be hungry. We've got to get the first one. If we get the first one, they can't get the first one.
Exactly.
So it's that simple. We've got to get the first goal.
That makes perfect sense.
And we've got to put ourselves in positions to be successful. So that means attacking the net, looking for those second, third, fourth opportunities. And, you know, even if you don't have the most beautiful shot in the world, when you're coming down the ice, just get it on net, because they're going to make the first stop, but that rebound's going to be there.
And we've seen that this team can absolutely come back from a deficit, but you don't want to always start with the deficit, because it just makes the hill that much tougher and that much harder. So plus you give them more life than maybe you would like to.
Something we're definitely working on.
Absolutely. 4 minutes later, so Ferris had the last goal in the last game. She had the first Michigan goal in the second game at 15:32 in the first, similar to her first goal from the night before. Ferris got the puck in the high slot and was able to score a long-range shot. Hansen on the assist. I think that one is right.
That is correct.
Michigan seemed to be more spread out during the power play on Sunday than they were on Saturday. Was that an adjustment you made to try and deal with some of that speed that Grand Valley had?
Not necessarily. Sometimes it just happens.
Sure.
For whatever reason, whatever our players are seeing, it obviously worked out in this case.
Absolutely,
but I think we were trying to pull the defenders out even more to try and create those lanes. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And speaking of which, it was definitely humming. 4 minutes later, Michigan special teams scored again. This time, shorthanded. Which is always beautiful. Katie German was able to sweep a puck on the penalty kill and get it back to Lindahl, who was off to the races. She came down and was able to take it from the forehand to the backhand, slip it around that right pad of Bernard, and score the game-winning goal. 13 seconds later, still on the penalty kill, Garbady steals the puck. She's surrounded by 3 different Grand Valley players. She's able to spin, put in a shot, and get to the near side of the goal and put it in. And that was her first goal as a Wolverine, so it would be nice to have a shorthanded goal as your first goal as a Wolverine. Is that something that you get to work on offense on the penalty kill in practice, or is that something that just has to happen organically from the energy people put on defense?
I would say it comes down to energy and effort plays.
Yeah.
It's something we've spoken about since the start of the season. I would say both of those goals were products of effort plays.
Absolutely.
So the first goal, Malshevsky ties up, chips. I don't know if you could see it, but I rewatched it a few times. She actually chips the puck, or one touches it back to Katie German.
Yep.
Katie gets it, and then pokes it out, flies down, pokes it out of the zone, and Lindahl's just gone.
It was beautiful. It just hit her right, and it was a beautiful play.
Yes, and then 13 seconds later, everybody's still riding that emotion.
Yeah.
Puck goes down in the corner, and Garbady's just, naturally a strong player, super smart with the puck, super smart defensively. She angles the GV player, picks up the puck, walks to the front of the net, makes a move. Our second shorthanded goal in 13 seconds. So
what a way to end that first period, though.
Yeah.
Ends up being 3-1.
It was exciting.
Absolutely. Definitely had the Yotes crowd on their feet. So it was an afternoon for first goals, as at 11:04 in the second, Bobby got her first goal as a Wolverine when Dilla slipped the puck past Hertz in the slot. She was able to spin and get a quick shot and fire it home. Gustafson had the second assist. Bobby is on an all-freshman line that you had on Sunday with Bobby and Black and Dilla. Are you pleased to see that sort of production coming out of an all-freshman lineup?
Yeah, I would say really like that line. When they were out there, they were energy.
Yes.
Which is exactly what we need them to do. And the fact that we were able to produce out of that was a bonus. I'm really glad that it happened.
Yeah.
And the way it happened was really fantastic. And the fact that it was Bobby's first goal, and you could just see the emotion of everybody on the ice, just phenomenal. But yeah, like their role was to create energy for some of our other lines, and that's exactly what they did.
Fantastic. Yeah, that I'll admit, when they just crashed it and hugged into her, that was a fantastic moment. That
I agree.
celebration was wonderful.
Yeah, we've got great photos of that,
absolutely.
courtesy of Jamie Crawford. So
yeah, check them out. They're on the Instagram. They're on Twitter. Fantastic photos from the game. And then goals are contagious. So. And it happened twice in the game. It proved true. As 29 seconds later, after Bobby's goal, Lindahl steals the puck in the far circle, and she puts it in the top corner. It was her second goal of the game and her fourth of the season. And then 4 minutes, 21 seconds later, Lindahl got her fourth assist when she took a shot that was saved off to the near side, and Hansen was in perfect spot to get that rebound and blast it home to finish off the scoring. The starting line of Lindahl and Hansen and Malashevsky have been very productive early in the season. How pleased are you with that line? Not to. Yeah,
I mean, like, they're all phenomenal players, and I think we found something that works.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. It works.
Definitely. It's just, they're flying around, and it definitely makes for a tough first line for the other team to play against. Yep. So. Now, so that's the two games. There is a big fundraising kickoff. As you know, Michigan has several road trips starting off in not this weekend, but the next weekend down to Oxford, Ohio, then a big trip out east. So Club Sports kicks off a fundraising event tomorrow, October 23rd at noon, through Thursday, October 24th at 6 p.m. It's a crowdfunding campaign. The team hopes to raise $5,000 to help with expenses for their upcoming trip out east. Check out the social media for links. Anything more you want to put in on that?
We don't have the link yet. It obviously starts tomorrow at noon.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll have the link then. This is the first time Club Sports has done something like this, so
very cool.
There might be some things going on in the background, maybe causing some issues we're not aware of, but I know Mariana Ceballos, our treasurer, we've been communicating all day, like, is the link up? We're going to throw a graphic up soon to get it on people's radars, but if you're interested in donating, obviously anything is appreciated. If you're unable to donate, if you can share, that's greatly appreciated too. But yeah, looking forward to kind of seeing how this goes because it's the first time, and the timing of it actually leads right up into our Michigan State game. So it's kind of a big week for us. So.
Absolutely, it is indeed. And even bigger because now with the pods changing, this is upcoming Thursday is the only regular season game.
It is.
It's about the CCHA playoffs or CCWHA playoffs, but it's the only regular season game against the Spartans. So that's going to be Thursday, 7:05 at Yost Ice Arena. Michigan State will come in. Again, like I said, their only regular season matchup. The Spartans are 3-2. They split away series versus both Miami University and Lake Superior, so they got wins at both of those road games. They won their only home game so far versus Grand Valley. The Spartans have 14 goals on the season so far, 4 and 12 goals against. They have a +2 differential. Michigan has 12 goals for and 8 goals against, so a +4 differential. What does Michigan have to do to get the win on Thursday and get a big win versus the Spartans?
We've got to play our game. Obviously, there's going to be emotions involved, but we've got to play our game. I'm confident in our team, forwards, D, goaltenders. We've been here before. Really looking forward to it, and hopefully we've got a big crowd at Yost cheering us on.
absolutely. This is a squad that you say it in football all the time that the records don't matter, but they really don't between these two teams.
Right.
There have been times when the Spartans have been hot and Michigan knocks them off, and vice versa, where anything can happen. So as many maize and blue faithful as we can have down there, I'm sure there'll be plenty of green and white folks in Yosemite. We'd love to see you all down there and cheer on. Huge game on Thursday, 7:05. And any other thoughts before I let you actually get to the work of a short week here with the game on Thursday?
Yeah, the short week, it's kind of thrown me off a little bit because normally we have practice on Thursday, but we'll have obviously a game. So it's a bit odd with a weekday game. I know we have another one coming up against Indiana Tech later in November, so it'll be more of the same there. But yeah, I'd love to see maize and blue at Yost on Thursday to really kick off rivalry week. Obviously, we've got the football game on Saturday, so there's plenty of time to, recover on Friday.
Absolutely.
If you need to. So, yeah, I'd love to see as many people there as possible. Really looking forward to it, and the team will be ready.
It should be fantastic, and we'd love to see you down there. If you can't make it, it'll obviously be on arborbroadcasting.com as well as our X feed and YouTube and Facebook. So we try and put it all out there. Thank you to Regents Field. We are very, very grateful for them and letting us be here. Thank you to the Michigan Podcast for having the team on and always supporting the team and coming to fundraisers and more.
Yep.
We want to thank you for watching and cheering and all the folks who came down to the games. Again, there was fantastic support for both games, so it was wonderful to see everyone there. And hopefully we'll see you at Yost on Thursday.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
Have a wonderful week, folks. Take care.